Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Add-on and I write games for fun. Hello everyone. How are we all doing today? Hopefully we're doing all okay. It's been a day. Readjust my life here a little bit. Yes, hello. Stream's a little bit later than I had originally planned today for a few reasons. The first is they were doing something outside. And that kept killing my internet. So that's fun. I love it when my internet just dies. It's Pog. That's what the cool kids say, right? They say it's Pog. Yes, welcome to the Battle Harem game. Battle Harem anime game, otherwise known as the full official title from the commissioner himself, Absolute Potential Romancing Brawl Climax. Now, some of you more astute observers might realize, Notepad, why couldn't you put Climax in the title of the stream? Twitch just wouldn't allow me to. So it's we had to improvise a little bit. But improvising is what we do best here, so don't think about it too hard. Ah, God. Ah, God. Right here. Right in my throat. So, yes, what are we doing today? Well, today's goal is to, well, write. I've got the preface set up pretty easily. Kind of talk about Japanime in general, because Japanime, this is going to be the lore section. The lore section is not going to be very extensive because it's the lore of this is already going to be horseshit. It's literally just going to be a justification to get to point A to point B. There's going to be nothing else there. There's going to be no more than the bare fucking minimum than what is necessary, because I can do that. So, we're going to start here. This is the goal of today. We're going to try to get as much done as possible. Mostly, though, what I'm feeling to do is we're going to be trying to get basics of the gameplay done, of course. But we're going to be trying to get characters set up, at least. I do specifically mean set up more than anything. As you can kind of see here, we've got a lot of stuff. We pretty much need to get all of this set away, and yeah, this is a bit larger than I originally had planned, but that's half the fun, right? How does someone write a Victorian pulp world like Deadlands with all the ooky spooky stuff being real without it coming off as racist while being factual? I'm gonna give you a secret. It's always gonna come off as a little bit racist. There's nothing you can do about it, because turns out the Victorian era was just kind of racist. Unless, I would say, like, don't go in, like, the fucking Haunted West route. Where the Haunted West route went out of its way to say everybody had a race assigned to them, and that was a very important aspect of their character, which was weird. But the best thing you can do about it is just don't talk about it, if that makes sense. Like, don't make it weird. That's the most important thing I can say to you. Just don't make it weird. Like, and it's hard, but just don't do that. So, I'm gonna just put this here. Actually, that's so I don't forget. Absolute Potential Romancing Brawl Climax. Also, for the 2 people interested in fonts, I'm using Montresant as the body text, and Rowdies as the main header text. Why Rowdies? Because it looks a little bit better, and I think it looks nice. I think it gives a good beat to it. So, we're gonna be working here. Absolute Potential Romancing Brawl Climax. Yes, that is the official name. Absolute Potential Romancing Brawl Climax is a tabletop role-playing game. Built around about going on how do I want to word it? Never heard of Rowdies, but it looks good. Yes, Rowdies is I kind of found it today. Rowdies looks pretty nice. It's a Google font, so it's technically free. Let's see, about tabletop role-playing game about going on adventures and solving problems on the town solving problems in the town on the border. I need to get Cole to actually give me a good name for that, but it's just town on the border. I am effectively just going to write Gensokyo. I hate to break it to everybody, it's just going to be Gensokyo. Okay, I'm going on adventures, solving problems in the town on the border. Oddities, demons. Oddity actually should be where demons, angels, monsters, and oddities all congregate to live their lives and engage in some hijinks. Ah. See, the beautiful thing about this time of year is that my allergies kick in and I feel like horseshit, and it feels like every time I speak, there's just this glob of something sitting in the back of my throat. It's awesome. I love it. Let's see. Engage in. Battle lines. How called battle lines? Because that's where the line for drawing in the sand. I'm specifically not doing it like it's time for fighting here. I kind of want to be like, this is just the border town. Like, this is just a place on the border. Just a little bit friendlier. I don't want it to be like immediately like it's time for battle. Not quite. Let's see. Engage in romantic hygiene. Engage in. Golly, stop because it's the last stop. Characters in absolute potential. Let's see. Characters in absolute potential are referred to. Actually, how do I even want to call these? Characters in absolute potential are protagonists. What would be a good term? What would be a good term for these? Actually, characters in absolute potential are called protagonists. Are called protagonists, as they are the central figures in the The characters in absolute potential are called protagonists, since they are central figures in the story, and will be the catalyst, for many unfortunate events. Any character who is not a protagonist is an NPC, non-player citizen of order. Any character who is not a protagonist is an NPC and a non-player citizen, an NPC, a non-player citizen of the border, or an antagonist. Individuals who directly oppose the protagonists. There's a little bug flying around my apartment, and I want to just like grab him and kill him. Like, but he's a little fast, and I don't want to like bot my mic. So, each protagonist, whenever a protagonist wants to perform an action, with a chance of failure. What do I want to do that? When protagonists are Let's see, when the protagonist performs an action with a chance of failure, is in direct competition. Is in direct competition with another, or is attempting to resist. In effect, they will be making a judgment. Judgment. They'll be making a judgment, and the protagonist will take 2d6. I'll take 2 hello phone 6-sided die, 2d6, and roll them, adding the results together. This is actually. This is called their rolled result. The protagonist will then add any modifiers. Such as their attributes such as their attributes, skills, and abilities to the rolled result, resulting in the final result. If the final result is greater than 10, then they've if the final result then the final result is greater than the target number, they have succeeded. Greater than or equal, always put greater than or fucking equal to the target number. They have succeeded. If their final result is lower than the target number, they fail and take the consequence. Easy enough to understand. Two dice succeeded. So efforts. I fucked up with heading 2. I need to actually change that back to rowdy. So you're going to be 28, which is going to mean heading 2 is going to be types of judgments. There are three types of judgments. A protagonist can take. There are 3 types of judgments a protagonist can make. In absolute potential, romancing, in absolute potential. The first is a standard judgment. These are the most common. And have the protagonist roll against a set target number of 10. If their final result is greater than 10, they have succeeded. If they fail to reach goal, if they fail to reach that goal, then they have failed. However, if the judgment is considered to be difficult, if the judgment is difficult, they will remove d6s from their roll. And they will remove d6s from their roll. If the judgment but will add d6s if the judgment is simple. Now, these can go to a maximum of 0d6. 0d6 to 4d6, and these can go from a maximum of 0, go to a minimum of 0d6 to a maximum of 4d6. If a yes, it is entirely possible to have no random roll. Like, you just have a 0 in it. It's like, fuck you. Like, whoopsie doopsie, you just are bad at this. Like, you're just really bad. And, like, you just suffer. Like, you just aren't going to have fun. Ooh. People are posting cringe in an orange server and my head hurts from it. Let's see, 3 types of judgment versus standard judgment. These can go to a minimum and a maximum of d6. However, more complicated. Let's see that. I'm gonna try to keep this. I'm trying to keep this nice, light, and simple. Because I like nice, light, and simple. If we do... We only need 5, technically. 5... Let's see. Simple, easy, complicated, hard, negative 2d6, negative 1d6. This is kind of the idea what I was thinking of. Make you small. And make you smaller, in fact. That I can. Can I make you smaller? No, I cannot. So we're going to do that. So first... Opposed rolls are the second most common. Let's see. These are. Let's see. Opposed rolls are when the protagonist is in direct competition with another character. Characters. Let's see, direct competition with another character or character. Or let's see, character. And I'll probably do it with another character. Both sides will roll their die. Both will roll their die and achieve their final result. If one side has the higher value, Once it has a higher value, then they have succeeded. Then they have succeeded. They have succeeded. Then they have succeeded and beat the opposition. If and beat the opposition. However, if there is a tie, then the character with the highest attribute, then skill, then protagonisthood, then protagonist, and finally coin flip. Let's see. Actually, if there is a tie, actually, what I should do, then both characters, then both will re-roll their die. And both will. Let's see. Then both will re-roll their die. Reroll their die and attempt to win, and an attempt to win again. Attempt to win again. If there is a second tie, then it ends in a perfect clash, where neither emerges victorious, or outright loses. There we go. What's with the whole anti-intellectual thing in the Midwest? Well, if you want to talk about Midwest United States of America, there's a few different things you got to consider. One very important thing about the Midwest United States of America, the solid, is it is a very independent place. There's been a very long, how do I want to word this? There's been a very long and continued effort out there to say fuck government, because the government doesn't really do jack shit out in the Midwest. You ask anyone in the Midwest, hey, what does the government do for you? They'll say fuck all, because really, they do fuck all. And the people who do receive the most government benefits out there are usually the farmers. And the farmers are pretty much told, don't go to school, go be a farmer, because that's your destiny, effectively. And you are in this permanent state of, you want to be stupid because you need to be a farmer. Don't go to school, be a farmer. Don't go here, be a farmer. You're going to do this. There were a lot of people I knew when I was going to high school that their lives were already chosen for them by the time they were first years in high school. They already had their life chosen for them. Some of them did go to college, but they went for college for very specific things. You went in there for agricultural studies. You went in there for a very particular thing for a very particular reason. If you go into the idea that there's this whole, like, oh, there's an anti-intellectual thing, that's incorrect. That is things being fed to you by Californians, and the only thing worse than generally anything in life is Californians telling you anything about other than California. Usually it's them being pretty terrible opinions on it. The Midwest can't afford to be that. Why in God's holy name would you ever want to be that out there? You can't. Not really necessarily an anti-intellectual thing. It's, we have no benefit for this shit out there. Like, oh boy, you have a fucking, you have a super cool degree. Who fucking cares? Like, who cares? You are in the boonies, effectively. Do you cook meth? Congratulations. That's what your chemistry degree is most likely going to get, unless you end up in a really cozy job because you got brought out there to do such. So it's, if you go under that impression, you go under the idea that the people who are, quote, intellectuals, end quote, are people being brought in, and they already hold a place in contempt. This place sucks. This isn't the city. This isn't cool. This isn't like this. And then that's how a lot of people kind of see them is, oh, you're just a bunch of fuckwits. You don't know what's like out here. and like, oh, well, we just don't like your kind here. The truth of the matter is that they don't like your kind out here, not because you're an intellectual, but because you're a snobby shithead and nobody likes you. And that's how they view you. If you just treat them normal, they're fine. They don't give a shit about you. But if you go repeatedly through your entire life of meeting, quote, intellectuals who are, well, you guys should just move to the city where everything else is real. It's like, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this shit works. So yeah, there isn't an anti-intellectual thing in the Midwest. People fucking suck. News at 11. Next question, Solid? Romancing Brawl Climax. Yes. This was the commissioner's name that he came up with. This was the commissioner's name. I had, the original name was going to be the town on the border. Depending on whatever you kind of translated into Japanese. But yes, it turned into Romancing Brawl Climax. Though, I'm sticking with absolute potential on most things, because that's what it is. It's absolute potential. Romancing Brawl Climax. Let's see. Finally a protagonist may need, maybe forced to make, let's see, maybe forced to make a, luck check. Make a, let's see, protagonist may be forced to make a luck check. When this occurs, they will take 2d6, and any modifiers, and roll for their final result, They will normally not add anything to the roll. The higher the value, the better the luck generated. With 6 being the best result, while 1 being the worst result. And well, the not anything to the higher the value, the better the luck generated, with 6 being the best result, 1 being the worst result. There we go. Luck checks are not going to pop up very much. They're effectively going to be your gambling checks. Like, yeah, there's just something here that you need to gamble. This is how. So, stop running. Stop running away from me. Oh, no. Push the... There we go. That's what I like to see. You know, how to play. We've even got our basic, very basic little image right here. I'm gonna try to go for like kind of like this 90s anime vibe the entire time. How do you feel about the Zelda RPG that's a combination of PBTA and D&D? I want to kill myself. Are there rules out yet? I want to see it. Like, I just kind of want to kill myself because it's just Dungeon World. Congratulations, you've remade Dungeon World. But here's the thing as well, I don't care for Legend of Zelda. I've never cared for Legend of Zelda. Now, I know, very complicated fucking opinion on things. I just don't care about it. I've never really been like a big like Legend of Zelda guy. So my relationship to it is not exactly like, oh my god, I love Zelda. No. Like, I just don't. See, it's funny because there are some people out there who'd be like, oh, you don't like Zelda? You don't like Zelda? That's... Oh man, you suck. Oh man, you're the worst person imaginable, and I hate you, and I want to kill you. It's like, no, that's not how any of this works. Ah. Ah, what a beautiful day. Ever since LifeWire fan, them have been overrated. I got no idea. Let's see. How do I want to, Yeah, this is a lot of this is subject, by the way. I'll probably come up with a better name, but generally speaking, the core of what this game is going to be, it's going to be 2d6. I'm going to take your 2d6 die right here. Okay, I got my 2d6 right here. They're very nice d6s. I like them a lot, and I'll even get my nice orange ones out. You're going to take 2d6. You're going to roll, get that dice ASMR. You're going to roll, and for a standard check, all you need to do is roll above a 10. So I rolled a 5 and a 2. That's a 7. But let's say I have a +4 across the board. I would have succeeded. Characters are going to lean towards success. That is a very important aspect of the game. I want characters to lean toward doing things correctly. However, catch, I want characters, when they do fuck up, who fuck up hard. That's going to be kind of a note I'm going to have to probably put after this. I have an idea of what I want to put there, but I don't have the exact wording in my head yet. But it's what I want to get across is the idea of, hey, you're a very competent person for very competent reasons, and you shouldn't just outright fail things. What should happen is you comically fail things because it's funny and you're stupid and bad at your job. But someone who is impeccably skilled at something is probably going to be lacking in a lot of different other parts, especially characters without skills. Without skills, you're going to have on average maybe a 2 or 4, 2 to 3 in most of your attributes. So that's 2d6 plus 2 trying to beat a 10, which is going to be a little bit more complicated if you don't have a skill for it. If you have a skill for it, you're going to lean toward a lot towards success. Fandoms were always cringe. Yeah, I'm hoping people kind of get this part a little bit more. Like, actually, you know what? Just to make this easy. Fandoms were always a mistake. Originally, I thought about putting in like you can get like a plus and minus and stuff like that, but I'm like, you know what? No. I'm not going to do that because that sounds like a pain in the ass, and so... Let's see, can we actually get this right size I want? 0.45, 0.48, 0.49, 0.5, 0.5, 0.51, 0.52, 0.53, 0.54, 5, 0.56, 0.57, 0.58, 0.9, there we go, 0.6. Put 0.6, however, we can go down to 0.5 with, there we go, Lemonio Squeeziancho. Also want you to know, it just is convenient that this just looks wonky. Do we opt to go full justified right off the bat? We can opt to go justified if we want. That is an option. I usually don't go justified on things, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to go justified. I guess it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't be the worst thing imaginable. I wish we did that, but that's kind of the nature of it. So okay, let's do this. So goal here: creating a protagonist. When a player sees creating a protagonist. Creating a protagonist is as simple is a three-step process. Each step will build the protagonist, and we'll build the protagonist backgrounds, skills, and abilities, allowing them to survive survive and thrive in the town on the border. Let's see. When building a campaign or adventure, when building an adventure for worlds outside the town on the border. Let's see. When building an adventure for worlds outside of the town on the border, curate and develop a more personalized portfolio of oddities and strangers to inhabit the area. Every world is different, but every world has their town order. That's kind of the pitch here a little bit. Like, yeah, there is like, depending on if you want to do something really specific, you should do this thing that's very specific. However, understand, fundamentally speaking, I have zero power over how you want to do things outside of that. Like, if you want to do something really specific, not gonna stop you. Got no reason to stop you. Just, keep it consistent. That is my one request. My final message. Brawl Climaxing. Also known as Gachi Muchi. Hey, I've finally found a way to fix up Gachi Muchi fucking Super Smasher. I know how to fix that game now. It came to me in a dream. Most notably, it came to me in a dream about Vin Diesel. Yes. If you can believe it, Vin Diesel will be the one to fix up the Gachi Muchi superhero game. because he invented the stupidest fucking thing imaginable, and I just need to learn more about it. And you want to know what it is? I'm going to tell everyone about this now, because I find this is something so paramount to my existence that I've been trying to find more on it. Vin Diesel point fighting. I guess that's like the best way to think about it. Yeah, right here. Vin Diesel devised a punch counting system to ensure he never lost a fight in Fast and Furious. Because one of the weird things about Vin Diesel, this is a very important thing about it. I believe anyway. It's Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and there's another one. I can't remember. All of them have it in their contract that they can never lose. They can never lose a fight. Like that is like a part of their contract. Including Danny Trejo's. If Danny Trejo plays a villain, he has to die. He has to die. Which, I like Danny Trejo. But generally speaking. So what Vin Diesel felt, hey, I'm getting my ass kicked in this scene. So he like devised a point counting system in his fight with Jason Statham to make it so that neither of them looked like they were losing. This is the kind of shit people in Hollywood do. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is exactly what I fucking need in the weirdest way possible. So I need to find out what the exact points were and how it worked. Because if I can get that, it'll be fixed. Wouldn't it be about the characters in the movie? Oh, no. Literally, like, Vin Diesel has in his contract that any character he plays cannot lose a fight. Dominic cannot actually lose a fight. Similar to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, if you watch any of his movies, does he ever lose a fight? If he's in a fist fight, does he lose it? No, he never does. And once I learned that, I like, oh my god, Dwayne, because I always wondered, being like, Dwayne, you should be like dead 8 times over, but he isn't dead. Like, the only movie where it was like, oh, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson fucking dies, he dies off screen as a joke. And that's the joke, is that he dies off screen. And it's like, oh god. Because yeah, I believe it's Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, and fucking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson devised this scheme so no one would ever lose. Yeah, it's like punches, body slams, and roundhouse kicks and headbutts all had separate values and could be properly counted up to make sure Diesel always came out on top. He's failing right there. Claims she piped up during the filming. He's falling down right here. Is he going to get his licks back in? It's been long noted that none of the good guys in Fast and Furious franchise ever lose a fight, but now it seems it might even be contractual. Yeah, like, it's literally like contractually speaking. Like, you can't lose. Like, that's so fascinating to me. And I'm like, what's the math behind that? Because I'm like, that could fix up the Gachi Muchi Super Smashers entire thing. Because all it would be is that you build up enough punches or hits or whatever till you get to the point where you can super smash them. And that's where you power slam him into the ground, or you do butt stuff. It's like, there you go. You build up to your super smash by punching people. It would be fucking perfect. But it's like, I think you just described Exalted Notepad. No. It has to be far more homoerotic. Traditional Exalted. If we do like second edition Exalted. Oh god, that's my back. That's not how that's supposed to sound. Second edition Exalted was actually a lot more about moat spamming and excellency spamming. Whoever had the most excellencies and the right excellencies won the fight, because you could just roll a shit ton of dice and then roll all your dice again. 3E Exalted is very weird. I'm gonna, you know what, fuck it, I can explain 3E Exalted a little bit, because it's a little bit funky, and people who don't know 3E Exalted thinks that it's kind of weird. Effectively, every character in Exalted has initiative. Alright, simple enough to understand. What you need to do is you need to attack with withering attacks. Withering attacks, you need to reduce initiative. You pretty much, that's what you're targeting with withering attacks. You're reducing their initiative. And then I think they're called decisive attacks. Decisive attacks actually do damage to the character, but the thing is, the counterpoint, like, why would you ever want to decisive? Why would you ever want to reduce initiative? Because initiative actually prevents you from doing a lot more damage with your decisives. You can open up with a decisive attack right away, but if they have high initiative, it's going to do absolutely nothing. So what the actual process of the game is eat their initiative, then do like a big hit to kill them. That's how it goes. Exalted by itself is cursed goods though, and everything that touches Exalted is lit on fire. One thing about Essence, you want to know the funny thing about Exalted Essence? Exalted Essence led directly to the creation of Gachi Muchi Nirvana Seekers. It led directly to the creation of this, by the way. I even say it right here. Luckily for them, Project Backburner, known as Exalted Litany of Creation, a game about simplifying Exalted down. And it also happened that Exalted Essence Kickstarter started just as I was going to start it. With two odd ideas, why not both? Yeah. I need to fix this game eventually, because it's completely batshit lore-wise, and it's effectively just a gigantic bar of shitpost. I don't even believe I have a single woman in the entire book, like art-wise. Let me see if I can find a single woman. I think I have one. Most of it, though, is just Bara artwork. Like, not even gonna lie. And I even get creative with how the interpretation of Bara artwork. Because I was just like, fuck it, why not? Let's just do increasingly bizarre Bara artwork. That's a man, by the way. I made sure of it. No, I don't actually believe, no. I do not feature a woman this entire time. I don't even think I say the word she. Like, that's the funny thing. I legitimately do not believe I mention a woman once in that game. Oh yeah, I mentioned them once. And I'll give you my, I mentioned women exactly once in Gachi Muchi Nirvana Seekers. Let me see. The World of Ashoka. Right here. Can I play a female seeker? No. That is my entire, that is every single aspect of how to mentioning women. Let's see, do I even, women, female. Oh, yes. The other one is being a chauvinist. Those are the two mentions of women, is being a chauvinist and and saying you can't play a woman. What's your opinion on a game that looks like the user manual, like for a robot? Could be interesting. I wanted to go over Essence. I never knew if it came out or not. Sorry, I need to pervert Pepper's, imagery of other people. because apparently she can no longer look at Ryan Gosling the same because I keep saying he's literally me. So she just assumes I'm Ryan Gosling. It's happening, boys. It's fucking happening. He's literally me, boys. He's literally me. I should go over Essence sometimes. More harem RPG. Yes, we've got the basic how to play. We've got the very basics of the game kind of set up. Not entirely super happy with the cover, especially the font up here. Yeah, I just need to kind of fix things up on it a little bit. I don't know what I want to do with it. Give me 1 second. I need to I need to torture Pepper more. It's my God-given right to torture Pepper because I find that funny. The climax needs to be more epic. Technically, like, I could do climax. Yeah, it's one of those things like, I don't quite know how I want to do this. I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure on the cover. Because, fun fact, getting this very particular kind of artwork, kind of this 90s anime look, this is a pain in the ass. Because Niji has a shit fit with this one. Quite a bit. It doesn't quite... Sometimes it gets really pissy with you when you're kind of trying to get what you want out of it. So it's a lot of like trial and error on it. So I'm going to be kind of mixing in this kind of watercolor, kind of oil painting style with this to kind of go back and forth on it a little bit. But yes, we are making progress, Spartan. Dude, dumb question. How the fuck did you make how did you make an image cover the entire page? So, here's the secret. This is a very important secret with Google Docs. So, you see these? This right down here is your best friend. What you want to do fixed position on page, and you want to do behind the text. If you do this, you can fit everything very well. One thing to note, always zoom out as far as you physically can. Because if you kind of even see here, up here a little bit, it kind of rolls over. Google Docs will have a shit fit. It does not like it when you do that. If you keep everything solid and don't touch it afterwards, it'll work fine. It just gets really pissy with you when you first do it. So, let's do ancestry. The first and most important is most important the first and very and fairly important part of being a protagonist. Being a protagonist is choosing where they are from and whose kin they are. The town on the border. The town on the border is home to dozens, if not hundreds of different beings from across many different beings. Each one has their own story, and situation for being there. Let's see, each one has their own story and situation being there, but can be roughly divided into a handful of different ancestries. However, each ancestry defines an ancestry defines what the protagonist is and how they approach. What the protagonist is and their initial potential ability. And their natural ability, reflecting their innate or learned qualities, innate or learned qualities. Each ancestry will have a number of heritages reflecting back more specific variations of that particular ancestor. Each one of these will have their own stat line. Maybe we do like we explain stats early on, like we do statistics and skills right off the bat, like we explain what the hell these are right here. Then we go into ancestry, then we go into classes and stuff like that. So it's kind of like yeah, it's Google Docs wants to fight you on 97% of things. I'm going to tell you everyone that right away. Thank you. I could go signing on the class names, still going with sexy fighter. Fucking fat finger the keyboard. Nah. We like sexy. No, sexy fighter got reworked into just being the hero. We go down here. Effectively, our basic lineup is warrior, wizard, cleric, rogue, hunter, maid. Those are our base classes. Warrior, if you want to punch someone in the face. Wizard's going to be all about casting spells, which is about blasting someone, but they pretty much are very explosive casters. The problem is they have a limited pool of resources. Clerics, on the other hand, have to make checks for all of their spells. So it's kind of a little bit more like, hey, as a cleric, you're casting an incredibly difficult spell. You're going to have to try to your best to not fuck it up, kind of thing. And it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to have to make it's going to be complicated for you. Rogues are going to be skill monkeys. They just have a lot of abilities to do other things. Hunters are all about being effectively... If a warrior's designed to punch someone in the face, a hunter's going to be more about making sure they punch things in the face the best. Which is going to lead to maids, which maids are going to be a lot more about link support and being support fighters. They are very supporty. That's their entire thing. The special class, though, is hero. Hero means that you can take abilities from any other class. The drawback being you don't really have anything by yourself. You can't multi-class. You get a little bit of everything, but you can't really develop one particular thing very well. But you're kind of compensated. You have a lot more links. You have a lot more links with other people who are going to give you different abilities, who can use different abilities, different spells, different ability, and different anything you can really do. That's kind of your advantage. You take abilities in your thing to take abilities from other people. Take a thing to make sure that you can cast a wizard spell. Wizards are going to get a shit ton more because they're a fucking wizard. You get like 2 spells. Have fun, asshole. Is maid locked to female? Yes, you can play maid male. If anyone asks, hey, I want to play a butler, you tell them to fuck off, bitch. Like, you tell, it's like, sorry, you're playing a maid. If you do want to play, something like that, every character is going to have the opportunity to multi-class. That's an important fact. If you are a maid, you can go into hunter. If you are a rogue, you can go into cleric. Cleric can go into wizard. Wizard can go into warrior. Warrior can do anything they feel like. The only one who cannot multi-class is the hero. Hero's multi-class is effectively at level 1. You just don't really have anything too particular except your links. Which, your main advantage with links is that you get more fucking links. Pretty much I do plan on having like a thing like, here's just a quick character. You want to make a quick character? This is how you do it. You roll 4 times on this little fucking chart and that's it. So it's like, hey, what's my starting class? Cool, I rolled a 2. I'm a wizard. Hey, what's my ancestry? Cool, I rolled a 4. I'm a fucking cat girl. Fuck you. Cool, done. Pop, pop, pop. Woohoo! Woohoo! Each one of these will have their own set of statistics, set of stats. Each one of their own set of stats as a baseline. Once chosen, the protagonist. The protagonist can assign +1 to any of their chosen stats. Assign +1 to any of their stats. Yep. Ba-bum. Ancestry's ability, ancestry. So stats and statistics. To begin with, each protagonist has a series of stats, statistics, stats, and skills. A stat is stats and statistics. There are a total of 4 statistics. There are a total of 4 stats. If we go here, 4 stats. Emotional damage. Emotional, mental, physical, and technical. Each one of the total the how do I want to set this? Wait, do it begin when? How do I even want to set this? Because of pretty much how this is gonna look down here. How I envision this. We're gonna have a little square over here, and this is gonna be where a picture goes. Then we're going to have kind of like we're going to have like a name. We're going to have like basic description. Then we're going to stat line 1, stat line 2, stat line 3. Merge all these together. So it's going to look like a basic description, and then we do like down here, which like special will be like ability. But these will be our stat line. So if we do so if we do something like this, so this would be like, give you an example, this would be like human. The basic description would look like, humans are humans or human being. Humans are the most common individuals in the town on the border. Each one a town on the border, as well as the lands beyond, it. Humans can be found just about anywhere, and do just about anything, Though some oddity, they are only split by being native, or being transferred to the town on the border. So, their ability, human, and find themselves drawn to challenges drawn to challenges, as well as finding themselves in the middle of many of them. They have +1. Like, actually, I should say, humans are social creatures, and some of the most adaptable ones in a variety of situations. They have Link. So we're going to do everyone. The human. Everybody loves humans. Think I should give humans something more exciting? Probably not, but we're just going to, it's, heritage, emotional, mental, physical, technical. We're gonna have a 3 across the, yeah. There we go. Natives aren't as astute, but that's because they're just stuck in there. They're stuck in a town on the border. That's where they've always grown up. That's where they've always been. That is what a basic pretty much what a basic racial write-up is going to look like. This is just what it's going to kind of look like and how it's going to kind of read. We'll slap an image right there. Let's see. What are you are you adding races to the game? Yes. It's just me are getting harder and harder to find games. A lot of games, a lot of people are also getting a little bit weird about them. What about posthumans and transhuman? What if I want a space marine or cyborg? Just imagine an Elder Scrolls anime about Paleo Whiteside being a harem protagonist. A dream, innit? I think a cyborg would be a better thing. Your android. What font are you using for the headers? I am using Rowdies. What I was debating on adding in like a robot class, because I'm going to have to put at the end of this being like, what if I want to play a half elf? What if I want to play a android cyborg? What that's going to be is effectively you're going to choose both and you're going to be one. If you want to play effectively Aegis from Persona 3, you, my friend, are going to be playing effectively a robot. You're going to be relatively human, but that's gonna be kind of like your issue. If you want to play a like 50-50, or like, hey, I want to play a half orc because we don't believe in racism here, and I believe you have the God-given right to play a half orc if you want. If you want to play something like that, for example, then hey, yeah, easy enough. You just have to choose: do you want this, or do you want to be more human with orc features, or do you want to be orc with more human features? You want to be human with more orc features, or do you want to be an orc with more human features? And it's like, yeah, that's just kind of who you are. Like, yeah, I'm a big fucking scary guy. However, I have to deal with the fact that now I'm a half-breed. I'm 50-50. I don't quite know how I want to handle, like, fantasy races. I might literally just call them oddities and being like, oddities can be legitimately anything you want them to be. They don't get a special skill. Their special skills, they get a bonus whenever something comes up. You know, it's just like, if you're playing an elf, you'll get a bonus die anytime you are doing elf things. Hey, if you're this, you'll get this. Make them Goblin Slayer style. Because the thing is, like, I never really thought about making anything too... As you kind of see here, these were like the default races that kind of were like, hey, you should do these ones. Like, demons, for example, what I was going to do with demons is that, like, demons are going to get split up into 3 of them. They're going to become Oni, they're going to become devils and fiends. Their entire thing is effectively, you are a demon. Like, you are a demon creature. However, Oni are demon of the, kind of the worlds. Devils are demons of hell. While fiends are demons of heaven, effectively. They're noble demons. So nobody really likes them anymore. So it's like, yeah, what's your ancestry? You want to play Oni? Oni, no demons are going to like you, but people are also going to be like, you're just human with horns. Yeah, there's a few different ways. We probably won't do races all today. I just kind of want to set some of these up a little bit. To kind of get a better idea of how they're going to look. Because there's going to be a few. And the classes are going to be the same way. I can tell you this right now, classes are going to be the problem child. So, boy, we need to worry about how I want to set this up. Creating a protagonist, statistics and skills. Where do you talk about it? Konosuba, how do you do this? Tell me, Konosuba, where do you talk about your skills? Data representing... I guess you talk about them right here. They do talk about them, but fairly quickly. Get like a paragraph. So, I mean, if we want to do this right, if we want to keep things simple, we'll give them each like a paragraph of like a quick rundown of each of them. So, without it being too in-depth. Because like, each protagonist, let's just do each protagonist has a series of stats and skills that define their abilities and that define their natural affinities and talents in while they are during their time in the town on the border. When a let's see, the four stats are emotional, mental, physical, and technical. The emotional stat. The emotional stat covers interactions with others and their ability to express themselves. You know what? We do this. We can do actually throw in a little table right here because God loves tables. This we keep that nice. We'll keep there, which we emotional damage. Emotional, mental, physical, technical. And what we can do now is we can slap an image right here and kind of break things up a little bit more. So, emotional. The protagonist's ability to express themselves and interact with others, their innate empathy and charisma. Who has actually we want to do actors and what would be some good people with actually, we should say who has good emotional damage. So before we can tie with it. Actors and angels have a strong emotional stat. So it's kind of like, hey, what do you kind of like? How are you emphasizing this? You want to play an actor. You're playing a character with a high emotion. So the protagonist's talent at scholarly work and intelligent discussion. Let's see, scholarly work and intelligent discussion. Scholarly work and willpower, allowing them to push through the most difficult of tests, difficult of academics, as well as mental fatigue. Who has the best mental stats? So nobody. Fucking no, actually ghosts. So we want to do what would be a scholar, academics and ghost have strong mental stats. The protagonist natural strength and endurance in the allowing them to actually use their body to act and deliver power flows. Warriors and strongest currently dragons. Warriors and dragons gravitate towards strong physical stats. The protagonist's dexterity, creativity, and allowing them or use the world around them. Thieves and who has good technical. Nobody had good technical. Actually, I know who can have good technical. We'll give robots. Oh, why did you redeem that? Okay, 3, 2. Oh God. Let me just. Why do you do this? Why do you do this to me? 3, 2, 1, let's... Oh, God. You do this because you hate me. 3, 2, okay, let's... there we go. Let's set the back. 3, 1. All right, you know what? You know what? It's time, everybody. Here, let's all snap our backs together, kids. See, Slenzip here. See, Slenzip here. This swarthy cowboy himself. He doesn't quite understand that stretching is in fact this. And let's do the other shoulder real fast. That is what my shoulders sound like. No. Oh, well, sorry, everybody. Looks like we gotta run an ad. Let's see. Have I read The Misogynist Isekai? No, I have not read Misogynist Isekai. I have not read Misogynist Isekai yet. You said people are starting to get weird or crazy with games. What do you mean? People get weird. The what isekai? The misogynist isekai, Sterner. The misogynist one. The one where we're being misogynist. Lulu, why? But yes. Generally speaking, and I will actually... Let's just hold at my back at a weird angle. Generally speaking... Cause I love you. Generally speaking, what's happening now is that people are starting to slowly and steadily realize that, ooh, there we go. People are slowly and very steadily beginning to realize that games are hard and people don't want to do them. Why are you a soundboard? I'm not a soundboard. I'm just make fun noises. So let's I'm not even going to pretend to look at this, read this. Yeah, this is misogynist isekai, where he just fucking hates women, and he's just like, I've been isekai'd. Oh no, I who detest women have been transferred to an all-girls school in another world. I fucking hate women. Where was it? There we go. This is the fucking meme right here. Ah, man, I've been transferred to an all-girl schools and I'm a huge misogynist. It's like, you know what? Do we really need any more absolute Kino out there? I don't know about you. I'm fascinated by weird isekai. Wait, wasn't misogynist made to make fun of guys who hate women by sexists and Greeks? Misogynist is legitimately just a Greek term of like, you just don't like women. It's the same thing as chauvinists. Like, like, chauvinists is like, you just don't like women. That's legitimately all it is. It's one of those things, like, it's just, I prefer misogyny. No! I wouldn't be surprised if people were just designing the terms for it, but that's like an actual like Greek terminology things. I prefer my men the Roman way. Oh yeah. I mean, we technically had we had Anarchy in his gladiator outfit. You know what? Fuck it. Let's time to show Billy Harrington. Billy Harrington PNG. I was looking for a Billy Harrington actually. Let me see if I can find where are you? Come on, Billy. Where are you in your I think it was like Gladiator. Yeah, yes, Conquered. Say hello to Conquered, Billy Harrington's gay gladiator movie. So it's very important that if you ever want, like, honest to God, this is the funny thing. People know him for Lords of the Locker Room, but like Conquered is apparently like one of his big things that made him like relatively like famous inside of the gay community because he was just a gay gladiator, and that's legitimately the entire plot of Conquered. This was an actually, like, it won awards in the gay movie. it won an actual award. My boy Billy, I miss him every day. Yeah, the anniversary was yesterday, I believe. I did see some things about the anniversary behind things. That was a. It's like, yeah, technically, then that's why he is. Did they fix it? No, 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 no. No, not like this. But you. Let's go all the way back. Back further. We're not doing quick layouts. Wrong option. What in the fuck are... Wait a fucking moment. Wait a moment. Wait. No. Oh my god, you can put fucking tables in text now. Oh my god. Oh my god. You can put tables in text now. Holy shit. This is big. We're not gonna do it right now, but like, holy shit. We are gaming. We are gaming. Why do you do this to me, Luba? Here, let's do an overhead stretch. Ugh. Hey everyone, thought I'd pop in for a bit. Hello, Super Manga Nerd. We're talking about gay porn. Yeah, nobody bought a manly. No one has bought a manly yet. How many suburban housewives bought some of his movies? What Billy did. Here's the thing with Billy Harrington. Billy was very, how I want to. He was big in the gay community. That was his big thing. It was the gay community, and those are the people who bought his things. Now that we have a manly, there's something very important. I couldn't really get a good manly, so instead I had to recruit someone else. I had to recruit someone to help us out. Thus, I would like to introduce everyone to Taiga-chan. So everyone say hello to Taiga-chan. She's brought manly. She's brought manly with us. Don't worry. She is twice my size, but I'm an adorable little chibi man. Originally I was gonna try for like the blue archive thing, but then I remember people just call it Cunny Archive for a reason, so I'm like, maybe I'll just go for like Tired Chibi Man. So if you want to know why I look the way I do, why I'm so small, I just don't want to be part of Cunny Archive. The fuck does Manly look? He just came back from Vietnam. He got done the last government-sanctioned war crime. The thing is, what occurred here was Manly there. I was like, I'm gonna give Manly big fucking, like, big anime eyes. I'm like, that doesn't look quite right. So I'm like, I'll go for like mob eyes. That was the plan, is that I wanted to do some like mob eyes. So it's like, cool, this will be fun, like, you know, anime mob eyes. Like, cool, you know, kind of the really simplified, you know, just like little dot eyes. But the problem is with the dot eyes method is that it made Anley look like he had the emotionally void eyes of nothingness, and he had saw not only the war, but he had seen death itself. So I kept the pupils, and yeah, that didn't that hasn't done much better. It looks more like this than anything. So you win some, you lose some. Fucking clatted. In my effort to be cute, it failed. The Void versus PTSD. So Manly can't be cute. That's good for Manly can be cute. I just have to get a very special artist to do it for me. What is Blue Archive? Blue Archive is a it's a gacha game. Can I tell you what Blue Archive is about? No. All that I know about it. This is like my extensive lore understanding of Blue Archive. Is they are schoolgirls, and all of them have heavy firearms. And I don't mean like light fire, like every single one of these girls has a full-on heavy-duty firearm with the purpose of killing other things. Often other schoolgirls, I think. I don't know, maybe. And all of them are also angels? Maybe. I don't quite know. They might be. They might not be. I don't quite understand the deep and intricate lore with Blue Archive. Honest to God, a majority of my information of Blue Archive comes from this one character here. This is an extent, the extent of my lore information is just bunny girls. And I do mean absolute booba bunny girl. Just Jesus Christ almighty. Look at there. Those things go on for fucking days. And this is all official shit too. And there's multiple ones. Everyone's a bunny suit girl. And hence you can see why they refer to this also as casually as Cunny Archive. I'm going to jail. They are outside my window as I say this. The rifle is in hand. I will not go quietly. Mashallah, I am his chosen. This is the extent of what I know. Now, mind you, the actual gameplay. Let's just look at the gameplay of Blue Archive. It's like a. Again, it's like, oh, hey, here's a girl in a bunny outfit. She also carries a fucking anti-material rifle. That is the extent of my knowledge and lore of... Coomer shit like the rest of anime gacha games. I love killing school children. It's like Girls und Panzer. I love Girls und Panzer. I don't know what you're talking about. The thing is... Girls und Panzer is hilarious because Sensha Do is such a fucking hilarious thing. That's the funny thing. Sensha Do truly is the most hilarious justification for one man's autism about tanks. Just when you realize it's just who the fuck made tanks girly? That's all it is. It's legitimately. Here's the funny thing. It's literally just a justification being like, I like pretty girls and I like tanks. Sensha Do, baby. There's no other reason. Just the world of Girls und Panzer. Upate? I believe, oh God, what's the fucking name? Upote? I know exactly, yeah, there we go, Upote. Where just everyone is a gun. Because... oh man, I love everything. I love America. God bless America. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's holy light? Yeah, Apote is one of those just gun autism anime that I respect immensely. And it's like, you know what? We need more gun autism. Fine, fuck it. Blinding Light of Allah, by the way. Fighter pilots and dogfighting disguises for boys, and I'm okay with that. Love me, women, love me, tanks, simple as. Yeah, it's like, yeah, oh, fighter pilots are like for boys. Yeah, just like, you know what? I've watched The Cockpit. Damn straight. If you've never watched The Cockpit, by the way, go watch The Cockpit. That shit hits hard. Like, one of the other funny things that it's like, where was it? Technically, there was also, The Cockpit is a movie. The Cockpit is a movie? It's an OVA. Let me actually, Again, I wouldn't be unsurprised if you have not seen this before. I would be surprised if you haven't seen something like this before. Or at least this very memeable image. Because it was pretty much just a series of just OVAs of dogfighting and just fighting in the Pacific and kind of the goofy shit that goes on, all leading up to a very specific situation. And I'll give you a hint what it is. It's a pretty fucking explosive one at that. It's very, very grim in some aspects. Very, very much a quiet kind of. It's explosively quiet. That makes sense. Somber, I think, would be a good one. When would we make an autistic, hyper-realistic Vietnam era dogfighting anime game? One day. Waifu caution the battle tech of and the mini century. Meaningful image sticker here. See, there was oh yeah, I mean there's also Strike Witches. Yeah, this is Strike Witches. This is one of those other ones that just has like this insane concept behind it, but I'm just fascinated by it. It's, hey, what if every girl was actually a fighter plane? They are also in swimsuits and cat girls and just animal girls. This is a scene, and mind you, these things aren't like little things. It's like, no, what do we need to do? Well, we'll just fucking, like, you'll see this and like, this looks absolutely ridiculous. And then you'll think about it for a minute, being less like, oh, what's the plan? Well, we need to strafe this gigantic fucking aircraft death carrier while Ace Combat music blasts in the fucking background, and we're all gonna die, but it'll be cool as we do it. I'm like, oh, alright, Strike Witches, Road to Berlin. It's like, yeah, here's them fighting to save the fucking world. This is a character. It's just like, it's one of those things you look at it being like, this is insane. And I remember, who was it? Because all of these girls are actually based off of fighter aces in World War II. They showed one of them to the actual ace. I remember this very distinctly. They showed him to the it to the actual ace himself, and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? You think it's kind of weird? He's like, does she have the biggest tits? And he's like, yeah, she does. Meaning it's like, good. And this fucking ended there. He's like, good. Bird Girls, Fight World War I-esque world. I know exactly what you're talking about. He was making a game about it. I don't know what happened to that, though. Oh, that sounds like a waifu-ication of Battletech. Yes. I mean, yeah, like, even, like, the thing is, like, Battletech still even has, like, a good following in fucking, like, Battletech has a decent following in Japan, or at least it did for a while there. Like, you gotta remember, Battletech was a very fundamental, like, MechWarrior, see this shit right here? This shit was defining for Japanese JRPGs. This shit, like, right here, this shit made why we have it in a very particular way. Try to see all the old artwork here and stuff. Japanese battle tech. Yep. Hey, it exists. A lot of battle tech books. This would be like one of those things that you would need to... I think you can probably find it if you look in the battle tech sections pretty reliably. You should be able to find things. But like... Oh yeah. No, they love their battle tech, baby. Oh, we love our battle tech. I know for a while that was like one of the big things with Palladium actually, and like Robotech. But yeah, that is that's my one little fun fact for everybody. Yeah, I play with like hex grid paper, 3-5 minis, and the 2d6. Well, you got to think, Lubu. This is the thing about BattleTech that people sometimes forget about. Like the really early BattleTech mechs, there were a lot of them that were actually Robotech stuff, that were Macross stuff. They were effectively the same thing. If you notice by the name, there, Sterner, Robotech, BattleTech, that wasn't by sheer coinkydink. They were actually, some of them were actually licensed to BattleTech. That's why if you look at like the old BattleTech mechs, let me see if I can find like the old, like the really old battle mechs. Let me see if I can find some of the old designs. There were actually some that are, like you see someone like, oh, here's the battle mechs and stuff. There were other ones that were just, went the way of the metaphorical dodo. Because they were licensed and they couldn't get the license fucking back. BattleTech, yeah, BattleTech was huge in Japan. Because it was just really simple. And, you know, as Spartan kind of puts out, it was something that you could pick up. You got all the minis. You didn't need that many minis. You could play it on just a regular table pretty easily, and you could just go with it. You could just go, and you could just play. Which also led to when Mech Warrior came out, Mech Warrior Books was like, hey, hello car, do you want to play BattleTech with a storyline? And people were like, yeah, maybe. I like playing BattleTech. That's fun. It reminds me of things like Robotech. It reminds me of things I enjoy. And be like, do you want a story behind it? And they're like, yeah, how about let's try that? You know, it's, the thing is Spartan, so, you know, oh, so that's very fitting for what I understand about the Japanese tabletop scene. BattleTech and Mech Warrior were like the progenitors of that. They loved that shit because it was effectively, a lot of those old like Mech Warrior books were actually very simple. What they were was, here's the scenario, here, pick and choose what you want to do. Well, my Mech Warrior is going to do this. Okay, let's turn to flip, flip, flip. Let's turn to this page. This is what occurs. Well, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to do this. Well, flip, flip, flip. Well, this is what's going to happen to you. What are you doing? Well, I'm going to do this. Flip, flip, flip. Click that. And it's like, oh, cool. I've got all of my, I've got all of the stuff that I like. And now when we fight, because we're going to inevitably go into a fight, you have 500 more C-bills. Your gun's jammed. You're in a better tactical position. This is what the enemy is going to look like because you took a job to fight these guys instead of those guys. Easy. Is wargaming itself huge in Japan? Not really. Don't tell me you're a Blakeist apologist. Blakeism was never wrong. Was wargaming... Wargaming is not huge. But there's a lot of war games. That makes sense. Fuck you, Spartan. You don't believe in the word of Blake. I am a true Blakeist. He will unite the inner sphere. Fuck the clans. No Zeon apologist, a Blake follower. I do believe there are war games, but they're not really as big. Fuck the clans. Fuck clans. See, it's one of those funny things when you realize. Now, I want to give you all like kind of a thought experiment here. In Warhammer 40,000, who do you think is the most popular faction for the Japanese? What do you think is the most popular faction for the Japanese? I'm seeing an Eldar. I'm seeing Space Marines. What else? Okay, second Space Marines. Oh, yeah, second Space Marines. Ooh, we're feeling confident. Imperial Guard, Knights, maybe Marines. You do have a correct answer in here. Yes, it is the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard is insanely popular there. That's just one of those weird things where they just really enjoy the Imperial Guard. That's one thing you always consistently hear about. Now, mind you, do people play Space Marines? Yes. Do people play the others? Yes. But like IG are the ones that usually get the most love out of them. No one really knows why, but it's like, yep. Tau don't like. You don't really hear many people play Tau. Fuck out of the bolter bitch is not big in Japan. The way that I recalled, this is the thing. The way that I recalled it was they liked the Imperial Guard because they were very modular. You can do a lot with very little with the Imperial Guard. You want to build a tank army? Cool, you can build a tank army. You want to build an infantry army? You can build an infantry army. You're not really stuck with one thing as much, and you can kind of move things around a lot more. That's what I kind of heard about with it. That and apparently everything else was hellishly expensive. Like, that was another factor to it. Is Warhammer Fantasy big in Japan? No clue. Like, my assumption would be anything rank and flank would be very unpopular. I would not be so unsurprised if Age of Sigmar was very big in Age of Sigmar was actually fairly big in Japan. Just because, again, it's limited space. You know what? Let's do a little bit of a game. Japanese war game. Let's see what's here. Japanese war games. Legal Alien. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the most modern one. What's the most modern reboot of Tactics? TCG's Game Japan. Oh god. Yeah, let's see. Looks like it's a lot of hex and shits. A lot of looks like there is stuff, but it's a lot of hex and shits. War Drum Games, Kuroneko Design Workshop in Shanghai, Banner War Studios in Beijing. Reviews, AARs of titles frequently uploaded on Bilibili. So, it looks like Chinese were making a lot of stuff. Petite War Gaming Shop. Freezing Inferno. Petite War Gaming Shop, everybody. Cool. Aces and Valor. Yeah, it looks like they have like a good... Looks like they have like pretty traditional stuff, but it's just a lot. That's the blog, the mail. This, but see, this is the best part about shipping. Okay, no, this is the shipping section. What's this one? Is this your catalog? No, this is your contact info. Is this it? Yeah, it looks like Japan Games and Books. It looks like these are the bonsai one. Looks like these are the bonsai games, or banzai, like their particular ones that they did. And this is the magazine that they have, which, not gonna lie, looks like kind of a baller cover. That's kind of a neat cover. Like, yeah, because, like, I do know for a fact, like, magazines are still, like, pretty fucking big over. Longest Day of the Dead. So it looks like it's a lot of, I guess we would refer to them as board war games. That's a Ukrainian one, by the way. Ukraine war. That is a ship one. I mean, I'm assuming that's a ship girl one, isn't it? Why do you have cat ears? I'm so confused. But I need to learn more. Yeah, so sold out. That's a child. Like, what are you? Tell me what are you? You are going to be something really fascinating, aren't you? Come on, hit me. Counterattack, lightning battle off Medora Island, destroy Kaya, scary glory. Looks like, completely unironically, it's to be the looks like their war reports, like AARs and stuff, after action reports. That's cool. Hex and chits are always popular. Operation. What is this? I gotta know, everybody. I gotta know. It's COVID-19. Thoughts on reproducing COVID-19 on your desk? Fucking what? Operations research. Is it like a board game? Yeah, it looks like it's like a weird board game. Oh, okay. It's a crisis management game about managing COVID. Cool. The more you learn, everybody. Tell us your secrets, Magic Man. Ukraine Chinese are up with their Japanese and killing orcs. Wonder why. There's actually a very important reason for that one. Let me go all the way back up here a little bit. To answer a bunch of questions. Would probably be popular GW side, smaller scale, yes. GW still big presence in Japan. Yeah, I mean, they're one of the biggest companies in the world regarding that, so yeah. It's Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu did really well because it was actually one of the very few well-translated books in Japanese. That's a very important thing because, like, and it was relatively cheap, it was easy to get into, and it was just there. It was one of those progenitors of the entire hobby for the Japanese, so they're like, oh, we just really like it. This is just the thing we enjoy. Cool. Yes, like Ogre. Is this pandemic? Which font should I have used? Iron Heart, since one that I can't choose right look unless bold it. Which font should I have used for Iron Heart, since the one I chose didn't look right unless I bold it? Bolding this font's just fine. Kind of play with it. There's no good way for it. If anything, ask in post an image in like question time and say like, hey, what's the best one? Which font? Yeah, okay. So I still think you should do a video series on various histories and cultures of TTRPG. Culture across the world would do okay. The only issue with that, Lubu, is that I really don't know of any others. And there's a very distinctly sad thing to that entire bit, which is, I know for a fact Japan has a divergent evolutionary path. That's a very important facet. Japan has an actual divergence in their history when it comes to tabletop role-playing games. I don't know of any other place, bar maybe like Eastern Europe and kind of like Western Europe, but that's kind of in a weird way as well. I would say, again, because you get things in like Western Europe, you do have quite a few different games, and like games over there are a lot more numerous in different ways. You do have things that aren't just D&D. You have things like Dark Eye, but the problem is now is that that Divergent Evolution is now looping back around into being American. Like, it's not like, the thing is this, it's not like Anima is this amazing, huge, super game. It's not really. It's played by people who care about it. Wrong. But Anima is not like this be-all, end-all super game. But it would be like, this is what the, oh god. Oh god. I hate it. It's right there in the back of my throat. And then you do a video on Anima? No, I have not done a video on Anima yet. I did one on a game called Anima Prime, which Anima Prime is a very different beast and kind of a shit show. But like Spain and Italy kind of have their own thing, but it's very small. Same with like France, same with Germany. Very small. Out of anything, everything coming out of like the Scandinavian sector, those usually do pretty good, relatively speaking, but they're pretty big. But it's weird. This is the funny thing, is so many of those games cannot rely on their home market to succeed. They have to export everything to the US. And it's like, can you like, is there like a Swedish version of Morkborg? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And if there was, how would that work? Because that game is so reliant on fonts. Like that game, like thing is like Morkborg is so reliant on font choice and like artwork, they would effectively have to remake the entire book. Isn't the Nordics like 5 people and a few goats? Effectively. But you get things like the Year Zero engine out there, like they're a fairly big one. It's Eastern Europe's a little different because Eastern Europe has stolen everything. Easy enough to say. I hate to break it to you, my fellow Slavs, but you fuckers steal everything. Which, I mean, makes sense. You try justifying to someone who is like a $30-$40 book that you may not play when you can get it for free a lot easier right there immediately. Which it's kind of difficult to not necessarily justify, but kind of like, hey, every Slav is a Romanian notepad. But the thing is that not every Slav's Romanian, but if you cannot get things easily, especially if like the actual publishers in Russia are very hostile to one another, they won't sell you shit if they think they can get, you know, it's pretty much the publishers in Russia are very hostile to one another and kind of Eastern Europe in general. So it's like they'll deny each other things. They'll sell you quick starts just to make sure they can get some money out of it because they're not confident. Oh god, yeah. See, also Notepad, what in Russia isn't hostile? Yeah, exactly. Like I do think, for example, NGO, yes, non-government organization, an NGO. Effectively, India is non-existent. The entire Indian subcontinent is non-existent. China's a little bit interesting but it's more of a divergent evolution from China. Like, it's more of a evolution from the Japanese sphere in China rather than anything else, because they fucking love shit like Call of Cthulhu. They fucking love games like that. But the one weird thing with China is that role-playing games are seen as really a feminine thing. Like, women play Call of Cthulhu. Like, that's kind of the thing of how it goes. Men play board games, women play role-playing games. That was like the one thing people noticed in CanCon, or I guess you would call it. You also, like, that's one, but like Africa, not really a thing. unless you start going with things like South Africa, but that's kind of its own thing. You end up with like the Middle East. That's kind of a crapshoot because that just doesn't really happen as much. You know, that's kind of would be a different entity in general. Egypt maybe, but do they have their own independent sphere, or do they just have American games in Arabic kind of thing? That's a very important distinction. Because someone noticed that technically, like, I have a larger following than the entirety of like India's biggest fucking tabletop, you know, company. Like, that's kind of the funny thing, is like I have a bigger audience than them, just because like nobody in India wants to fucking play shit like this. Why would they? Like, I don't think people in this, like, even if you look at things in like South America, that is its own very interesting sphere in the saddest way possible. Because so many games that come out of South America aren't in Spanish. They aren't in things like that. They are in English. They get released in English. Vaguely similar to how in the US and certain darker cultures, playing tabletop stuff is generally frowned upon so heavily that even people interested won't touch them out of social fear. It's not even necessarily that. It's kind of like if you were to pitch to people like, oh, we're doing the thing that they do in the like the movies and stuff. I've always said that there is probably some kid or some middle-aged man, most likely at this point, some middle-aged guy in fucking Saudi Arabia who works a 9 to 5 like everybody else, who goes to work, who's having a ball, and has a notebook. And in that notebook is his thing that he's been working on for years. And every weekend he gets his friends together, a couple of his friends together, and they play his weird war game, or they play his weird role-playing game, or they do his thing. He will never publish it. Because he can't. Nor does he really want to. Why would he? He doesn't know anything else about it. This is just something that he kind of made on a whim because he kind of knew about it. That there is something like that in other countries. There is something. But it's either the situation is so why bother, or it's in such a weird place that it's like, eh. Well, with Latin America, I think its a hobby isn't really gigantic, or at least not very public in any level. Virtue that stigma of subculture is longer and bigger. It's with one of the guys, friends I play with regularly. Oh, with Latin America, yeah. Like Latin America, because you do have things like fucking what's its name? Tormenta. That's like Tormenta, for example. Like Tormenta is like a very uniquely Brazilian. And there are other games that are very uniquely South America. Just trying to. All right, there. What were you working on today? Before the tangents, we got our basic system done. We've got some of the basic idea of ancestries and heritages. I'm kind of just going through this a little bit. We can do right now. Actually, got all that done. These four stats cover the vast majority of situations that a protagonist will find themselves in. When every judgment will have one of the stats applied to the final result, applied to the rolled result, to find the final result. We'll find the final result. However, skills on the other hand are far more focused, are more focused on particular actions or situations. A protagonist will not add will not add their, will not add, if I can fucking spell, not add their melee skill when attempting to persuade a friend, nor will they add their diplomacy skill when fighting a kaiju, when fighting a monster. When attempting to bash a monster, skills can only be applied to one. Actually, only one skill may be applied at a time. Only one skill may be applied at a time to the final result. Time to find the final result. Let's see. Only one skill may be applied at any time to find the final result. Very simple stuff. Nothing too exciting here. This is just explaining everything, and we'll add a picture like right over here. That'll fit really nice. Let's see. Tormented. Yes, I need to sleep. Go to sleep. Stretch. We got another stretch. Why do you do this to me? Good night. Ooh. There we go. There's a place I know that rent board games, be organized TTRPGs there. Yeah. Because the thing is, it's not like it's an unknown hobby in Latin America. It's just everything always feeds back into, how do I want to work? Everything will always feed back into America. Because God bless America, we are truly the greatest nation on earth. Let's. So we've got all of these. What I'm gonna do now. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call it here because I'm gonna work on the video tonight. Yes, I need to finish that fucking video. But this is what a vast majority of. Actual like races are gonna do, and I'm probably just gonna lay things out. That's gonna be the plan for Friday. I'm gonna lay everything out, and once everything is laid out really nice and pretty like, we're gonna move on. We're just gonna rip through all of these. We're gonna hammer everything out, and we're gonna work on classes. So that's kind of a first day looking at things. We made some decent progress, not fantastic progress. We can always make more progress, but hey, we're doing our best. Now, if we do insert table of contents 1 for 1, there we go. We are 7 pages in, nothing too exciting, but yeah, we're making good progress. I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for watching. So please kill D&D because the only TTRPG here, yeah, it'll be the only game. Can you spend a little time with me in chat so I can spitball some ideas off of you? I'm going to make dinner because I'm hungry. If you just want to PM me some ideas, feel free to, but I'm going to work on things tonight. Food, then video. I need to get the Solarian Games section. Tonight the goal is Solarian Games and probably the first half of TSR3. Once TSR3, and tomorrow it's pretty much going to be entirely. We're going to finish TSR3, we have to do the legal case, then we do TSR4, and then the end. The full video is coming out to about 18 minutes, and even that's not doing justice to every single thing going on with that situation. It's just like here's a quick summary of everything you need to know. So, thank you all. Godspeed.